Sagittarius, you must become your legacy. So you must become your legacy now. Where I see Sagittarius is messing up on this is that it's all future tense. One day I will be, a singer. One day I will be a this. One day I'll be a that. If it's one day, it'll always be one day. If you approach today as one day, tomorrow's one day. If you approach today as I want, tomorrow you get I want. All you get is what you are. So if you are always in the wanting and always in the one day, then you will manifest the one day and the wanting in the future. So Sagittarius must become their future now. They must become everything they are now, everything they tend to be now. Whether or not we see it on stage is a moot point. Whether or not we see it on stage is a first house thing, not a 10th house. You guys don't know how much I have going on in the 10th house. You guys have no idea what I'm about to roll out in the next 6 months with Serious Joy. No idea. And that's because I separate my 10th from my first. It may be working here. I'm already, in my opinion, the new Sensei. I'm only rolling out piece by piece the new Sensei because I'm rolling it out in pieces that the universe is capable of handling in any given moment. I don't want to overwhelm. I mean, if I release all my change at once, y'all will just be in, sickness of just sucking the sea. So the way we roll out and manifest its first house and second house does not necessarily mean what we are becoming, that we are not becoming our legacy now. So you must become your legacy now. That means how you operate inside yourself, how you make decisions, everything must be your legacy now. Now, what this does is with Pluto and the second house, becoming your legacy now will transform your financial and your ability for abundance. The reason why you're not getting the money you want entirely is because you're not becoming the future now. And so as a result, you're not making the future now. You're making the past. You're in the struggle to become, one day versus the struggle of I am or the ease of I am. So, the pay grade of Sagittarius is that whether or not they will get paid with their worth is directly proportionate to how much you become your future now and declare it as now work in progress versus one day I'll get there. Different shift. Now, that said, the Sun in Libra has to be with who you are in the world. And this is huge because Sagittariuses really don't consider the I most of the time when they're in the world. Like when they're off in the world, they're like little butterflies. They like zip around the room. You can watch them. I brought Sagittariuses as a date quite often to a party or something. Of course, that person will stand by my side. She'll stand by my side for like 2 minutes and then boom, she's off. That's it. She's off and she's like, and I can see her twinkling around and she's like, making friends with everybody and like collecting phone numbers. And it's not till the end of the night that I get my date back. Okay. Like they just go off. That's the way it works. It's kind of lonely with a Sag when you're dating them. Sometimes I'm just saying. But the interesting thing is like, they're off including everyone. They're off inclusive, like being considerate of everyone. It's so beautiful that you do that. But I see you forget your heart's desires. I see you say, well, what I want doesn't matter. I see that all the time with Sages and it breaks my heart. And so now the new Sag, more emotion, the new Sag is that in that context of who you are in the world, you're including your inner child. You're including your heart in that moment. You're not discluding your heart. Now the North Node in Aries says it's time to go after your heart. And the Sun in Libra says by including it in every moment, by including it in every negotiation, by including it in every expression of who you are. You're not here to be nameless. You're not here to be invisible. You're not at all. You're here to fit in perfectly, and you do most of the time, but you end up disappointed most of the time. I've seen because you weren't representing your heart at the time of the negotiation, and so there it is. Now, the important part here is that as you move into Libra, you consider your heart in all negotiations, and then what happens is your heart, the fifth house, you get to have my. So for you, it's more like a my than an I. My life, my heart, my kids, my love of my life. That all rises to a new occasion. Because a lot of the love, I've noticed Sagittariuses have put off love a lot because they're trying to get their house in order. They're trying to get their society in order and all these other things in order. And so they quite often sacrifice their heart and they don't make their heart number one. The successful Sagittariuses must make their heart number one. You out of no people know how to do it without hurting someone else better than anyone. You're one of the best to get what you want. And so you want to do that paradoxical to get what you want. And in your own relationship and your own joy in your life, it's going to increase.
It's Serious Joy.